If you know you want to vibe with your favorite star, don't go nowhere. Hey, yo, Miss G, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Wilma Africa gave us 5 bags of the 5 kg rice, which is so 25 kg, and then 20 bottles of 1 liter frito oil. Yes, and then also their seasoning tablets, about 60 boxes of it. So there are 60 but 12 of it, to bring to you, and to also say to you that, oh, we remember all the good old days. We appreciate all the love that you brought into our homes.
Hey, quiet, left, baby. Oh, make it go. Make a left one, man. Your girlfriend with that, no, so. Okay, master. I change my mind. Make a please the alternator give you. Make a please some. So you go. So you go fix the car where you decide to have afternoon jump. Not be so. Wasting my time and infiltrating my life.
We cherish all those moments, and we say that it's an opportunity for us also to become a blessing to you after blessing us over the period. So I decided that I would definitely come to you and add you to the number of veterans that I'm visiting in this period to say, maybe for the rest of the year 2021, don't buy rice, don't buy oil, don't buy seasoning tablets. Just enjoy from Fortune Rice and then enjoy from Wilma Africa. So that's the reason myself and the entire team showed up here. So.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, sometimes I began my lockdown before the lockdown proper came, because I was diagnosed with heart failure, and since then I've been in my room most of the time. Sometimes 2-3 weeks I don't come out like this. I'm always inside. Before the proper lockdown came, so I have double lockdown. I go out only when I need a haircut, which is just in the town, and then when I must go for checkup. That is when my drugs run out and I have to go for new, and then for my doctors to find out how far the drugs they've given me are working. Now, the diseases I'm diagnosed with, as I said, heart failure, and they tell me once you get it, it's managed. It's not curable. You don't cure it. 2 ways. Said that one doctor told me if it were to be in the U.S., I would be on the waiting list for a heart transplant, because my heart, part of it has refused to work properly, function properly, and that's serious. And then the other way out is by drugs, where you have to be taking drugs. And I tell you, I have taken drugs. I keep telling people I've taken for the past nearly 3 years now. I've taken over 5,000 assorted tablets and capsules. Because sometimes, some days I take 10 tablets a day, some 15 tablets, 12, as the case may be. And then in recent times too, diabetes too has set in. So 2 deadly diseases, and you have to cope with. But the doctors tell me it's part of aging. When you are aging, you are bound to experience these things. So well, that's what we are having to do with now. This, I'm so happy and thankful that you brought me food, because I cannot work now. You cannot work. You see these cassava trees. The other time I tried planting some, I tell you, and then the heart started hitting the chest. Boom, boom, boom. Straight away, I became limp. I became very weak. And I had to stop everything. Since then, so I saw that what the doctors were telling me is true. You don't do anything, no strenuous work. Now, what I plead with people is, maybe through your medium, is for adverts. If people want to do adverts that are not that strenuous, they don't take much energy. Yes, then I can be part of it. At least it's important you get something little doing within the confines of the situation, so that at least to make some small money to keep the house going. And so that is it. And then the producers too, I tell them that if you have a role where, say, a father is talking to his children, or an elderly person is talking to his elders, where it doesn't take much energy, then those roles, or maybe a chief executive in meeting with the staff of his, these are small roles that I can fit in. Then at least I can do it within, so that and then maybe you've seen this advert, this foam, ash foam, the ash foam adverts, the pipe. Duraplast. Duraplast. When I was exactly, they after I think 20 years, they wanted to do another one. So they fused in the old one with the new one. And then I told them my story. They say, yeah, we know. So something that I could have done it within 2-3 hours, it took us the whole day. But they understood. We do it when I start palpitating. I start being tired, and we have to stop for about 30 minutes or so to catch my breath. So that has been the thing. I'm by nature a very vibrant person. I don't like sitting at one place. So this one has actually got me real. Whether I like it or not, I have to sit at one place. Lie down, because if you are lying down, then the heart is not, overstretched. And then the doctors are trying to prolong my life, so to speak, because the heart is the major organ of the body. And so you play the fool and you are gone. And they tell me the heart failure, they have 4 degrees. People don't get to 3. And they are gone. Now I got to 4, the last one, and I'm still alive. What does it tell you?
God is working.
Miracle. So it's a miracle that I'm alive. And I owe the Father Almighty so much gratitude to be alive today. And so you say your sponsors.
Yes, Wilma Africa.
Wilma Africa. Tell them I thank them very much. They have really helped me, because, as I said, I don't go out to bring in anything. And adverts too don't come every day. Once a while, before, if you are lucky, you get one. And so things like this really help. You've got rice, you've got oil. My friends, the Ashanti people, they call it Anwemu. I watch Acrobat2. One of them, he and Nana Muhammad Brown. And he went out without leaving chop money. And he came back, and Nana Muhammad Brown had prepared his meal. And his meal was gari and katia and sugar. And Acrobat2 said, oh, would they say cry? Would they young one muka grab? So Wilma Africa,
Yes.
Yeah, I thank them very much. And I thank people like you who take it upon themselves, and then they sit down and they say, well, some time ago, this guy would troop and sit behind our telly and watch him, and we would laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And then only person who I've seen this year with such things, and I'm grateful that there was a time Elijah told the Father Almighty that they have killed all your prophets, and I'm the only one alive. And the Father said, you don't know, I have preserved some people who have not knelt down, bent their knees. So Ms. G, I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to all of you. Yeah, that you sat down and it came to your mind that let's go see this man and show some appreciation. I am grateful, honestly, if I tell you.
So when we're coming, I was like, oh, this is a journey. And so when you have production, normally everything happens in Accra, almost like in the business district, if I may say. Yeah. And you have productions. How do you commute from here? Are you able to make production time and all of that?
Yeah, even when I'm going for checkup, I have to charter a taxi. So I have a couple of taxi drivers who I go out with. If I must go for checkup, and I go for checkup at East Legon. So I charter the taxi, and I pay him by hours. Meanwhile, if you charter a taxi from here to Accra, they take 200. So if to Accra and back, you know, maybe he might decide that you pay 350. But so I have to come to a compromise with them. I say, Charlie, I'm going to hospital. And when I go, if I spend 2-3 hours, you'll be packed. The car is, you're enjoying yourself. But I'm paying all the same. So let's track it. And they understood. And sometimes we could go there and spend as many as 5 hours at the hospital. And all this time, I'm paying. And so when I come back, so sometimes 180, 210, 240, sometimes even 300 in taxi fare alone. But I prefer it that way because you know from when you finish, you are through, you know you have a car that will bring you home, which is better than you standing by the roadside. Most of the taxi drivers in Accra don't know these places. And so he might either overcharge or undercharge you, and then there's a problem. So, but if you get somebody from here, and then you arrive at that understanding, then it's good. So that is what I do. And if I must go for example, when we were going to shoot that advert, the Duraplus advert, I chartered the taxi. So the taxi went and parked. And whilst we were shooting, it was packed. As soon as I was done, I got into the taxi and I came home. So whatever money I made, the taxi will also take part. But at least the good thing is you've got some job done. So what I would appeal to people, companies, or that if you have some advert where it doesn't take it's not that stressful, and I can feature in, please. I'm okay for that.
Normally what people ask, when we begin to raise concerns about our veterans and how lots of them will need our love, our support at this point, people begin to ask questions. What happened to them? What happened back then when they were, in the game and was their heydays? What really happened?
Let me tell you something. Taxi driver. When we were shooting Taxi Driver, you know how much I was paid? 100,000.
Old CDs?
Old CDs.
That's about 10 CDs now?
10 CDs now.
For the entire production?
No, for one episode. Wow. But then, the late John Kay, I learned that he ordered that I should be paid 300. Now, the 300 will be budgeted, all right. But at the end of the day, I was paid 100,000 Ghana, 100,000 cedis, and then somebody takes my 200,000. So for the whole things, you can imagine, every week we were shooting taxi driver. So every blessed week somebody was taking my 200,000 for free. Now, somebody sitting at the back will say, Titi is a wealthy man. Fortunately and unfortunate for me, I have a big body. So when you see me, you say, this man is basking in money. You don't know. We have a saying in Ghana. Lachancha kuwa, sheheche wana. Meaning, the monkey, this monkey, baboon, it sweats, but because of its hair, it's not noticed. Yes. Because of the big body I have, when you see me say, oh, this man is wealthy, he's making it. Meanwhile, people are stealing my money. Now, all throughout my acting career, I have never been paid 3,000 Ghana cedis for a production before.
All through. And you've been acting for how long, sir?
How long? If my mother were here, she would be the right person to ask this question, because maybe I started from her womb. All my school days I was acting. All my life I've been acting.
But professionally?
Professionally. Over 30 years.
And you've not made 3,000 cedis for any production?
For any production, nobody. So when these young people came and they were charging 5,000, a Jacko, I understand, would take in his day, would take, how much? Is it 4,000, 5,000 collected from people? And he would say, he will leave. In those days, we would go to Kumasi. When a Jacko was not around, no business in Kumasi. I quite remember on one occasion, we were all there, and a Jacko was shooting at a certain location. Now, Samuel Nyameche had to go and stand there waiting for him. And when a Jacko was done at that location, he drove him back before we started ours. And he was collecting that money. Meanwhile, the money he was collecting, I have never seen half of it. But because of this big body, he said, this man has got it. So there is this erroneous notion that what were they doing with those money? Yes, you see me on the telly, but people were stealing my money. Every week somebody was taking my 200,000. And I was taking 100,000. It's recently that Master Richard, he told me he was taking 300,000 at that time. Others were taking more. Me, the main character, I was less paid. Have you ever heard of this? Me, the main character, taxi driver, I was receiving the least money. Infantini Becca said, You see? So that is the thing. So when people ask those questions, they don't know. In the acting field, it's full of trickery and cheating and stealing. Filmmakers will steal your money. Especially these people, the production managers. A production manager is collecting money for his role as a production manager. And he has a role. He will be playing a role in the film, collecting money too. And he won't be satisfied with this, and he will steal your money too on top. But you know, we have the heart for the job. Something that is in your blood. I mean, that you love doing, you can't stop doing. You just love doing it. And so whenever, I quite remember the late John Kay, that is the owner of a taxi driver. He sat me down for 2 hours in his office. When I was called to the office, he was sitting in the visitor chair. And he has left the executive chair. I said, but please, I said, boss, this is not where you should sit. Go and sit there. He said, no, you sit there. So he made me sit in the executive chair. And he said, do you understand what we've done? He said, if taxi driver is going to be successful, it's you. And for 2 hours, so whenever we mention John Kay, I look at I always see his face, the earnestness in his eyes when he was talking to me for those 2 hours. And that was what got me into taxi driver. And so despite the fact that they were stealing my money, I was still doing it.
Oh, you got to know at that time that they were stealing your money?
No, it was pastor. It was, the director, one of the directors of taxi driver and the husband, they gave me a lift. We were coming to Medina. And during conversation, then they asked, Titi, you are making money. I said, who is making money? They said, but how much do you? I said, I'm paying 100,000. So, what? You 100,000? I said, yeah. They pay me 100,000 every week. They said, no. Oh, so soon alarm blew up. That was when somebody told me they budget 300,000 for you. And every week somebody was collecting your 200,000.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
Very unfortunate.
Yes.
Very unfortunate.
That is for you. When I see things like this and people show appreciation, one thing I like to tell people is, whatever you must do it well. Whatever you have to do it well. You never know. There will be somebody observing you from a distance. And one day, when you least expect, that person will show appreciation. I have experienced it so many times. When my illness came out, meanwhile, I had been suffering quietly because I didn't want to come public. Then some of my mates said, no, please, let people know. You never know, somebody will be willing to help. That was when it came out. And when it did, I tell you, I train as a teacher.
Okay.
So there was a time children I had taught about 25 years, and they came. This house was filled with cars.
Oh.
I tell you, they came and we were sharing memories, old memories. One said, "Sir, you gave me one lash, and that one lash changed my mind." They said, "Sir, you did this to me, and I remember it till today." And I was amazed. Then I realized that I had done my work. And the one particular class, they said a year group. They came in year groups. One particular year group, they said I was their form master. And those children did something amazing. They brought me 6,000.
Wow.
6,000. At that time, a friend of mine said I should go and see some Bosofo at this cinema in Accra, old cinema in Accra. It's now
Is it Orion?
Is it? Well, maybe Orion. Maybe Orion. And when I went, I was there, and I showed them where I was, and they came to the church. So when they gave me the money straight away, 10th part, I took the 10th and put it in the church box.
Wow. Wow. Means that you believe in tithing?
No, yes. I don't make it a rule, because there are so many ways of giving, trust me, there will be somebody in the church who did not eat before coming to church and doesn't even know where the next meal is coming from. That person will need that money more than you putting it in the church. Now, if you are guided by the Ruach HaKodesh, you understand that?
What's that?
What is called the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
The proper term for it in Aramaic Hebrew is Ruach HaKodesh. If you are guided, then you will locate such a person. And when you give the money to that person, the Father is happy. And you bring joy to a suffering heart. I believe in those things. So you see me like this. Sometimes you like this, I have your number. Maybe one day I'll call you. Miss G, could you give me so much? If you give me, I'm not going to use it. Somebody has asked me for something which I don't have. But I believe that, way back in the 70s, there was this popular song by these singers, staple singers. Are you sure there's nothing you can do to help somebody worse than you? Think before you answer. Are you sure? Are you sure it will be a waste of time to help somebody all the time? Think before you answer. Are you sure? You Google staple singers. Are you sure? And listen to the music. I heard about this music way back in the 70s. And that thing I hold on to up now. Are you sure there is nothing you can do to help somebody worse off than you? Are you sure? Yes, you are hungry, but it's evening, but you've had breakfast, you've had lunch, and somebody had not had breakfast, lunch till evening. Are you sure you can't share your meal with that person? I can't remember when I was 18 years old and we were learning to chase girls, right? Now, I left part of my money for school because there was my father's house is at Laboni, and my girl at that time lived somewhere close to the trade fair. So I would, if I knew that evening I would be going there, I would leave part of the money, and then halfway one woman used to sell kelewele. So I'll buy the kelewele. At least when you go and you are chatting, your mouth must smell good. So I'll buy the kelewele. And trust me, one day, I just bought the kelewele like this. A few paces, and this young man stopped me. He said, my brother, in those days, I was big. And so when he saw me, he just saluted and said, please, my brother, I don't have work. I'm not working. And I eat at my friend's place every day. I've been there a long time. He's not coming. And since morning, I haven't eaten. I'm hungry. I looked at the man, and I was so sorry I didn't have money. But then I had a kelewele. So I said, please take this. He said, no, but I said, yeah, I have eaten. So you take the kelewele. And I gave the whole thing to him. And I felt happy giving it to him. This is me. At another time, when I was teaching at Gaku Preparatory School, near the trade fair, I went to eat, and I was sitting down, and I like variety. I'll buy kenke and fish, and then beans and fried plantain, all in front of me. And then some two young men came. One was, you could see that he was incensed. The whole face dark. And you could say apparently he provided the money for the food. And the other one was looking miserable. I saw it and I felt it. When they sat down, the one who paid for the food, you see that his face was somewhere. You could see that he hated the very idea that this guy was eating with him. And this guy was looking so miserable. I left my food. and went to the bean seller. And I said, how much did they buy? Now, prepare the same thing, right? With everything, go put it in front of them. And I came and sat down and was enjoying my kinky. And then the woman came and put it down. The moment the woman put it down, the one who was, the face was like a dark cloud. Then he smiled. He said, then the woman said, oh, this man said I should give it to you. Then they began to, and I said, oh, that's okay. Then I realized that they won't feel comfortable because, you know, it's, you are facing each other. Quickly, I just took 2-3 morsels more and left my food and left so they could eat. That is me. That is how I am. You know, whenever I do such things, I feel happy. And so sometimes I ask money from people, not for my personal use, but to help others in need who otherwise may not have it or know somebody who could help.
Okay. Thank you very much for receiving us, and we are glad that we made time and spent a little time with you, and we are sure that we'll continue the relationship from now, and maybe from time to time we'll make time to visit you, and we pray that, you know, corporate Ghana also will listen and come to the aid of most of our veterans and also support them whichever way they can.
Yeah.
And we pray that God blesses you with some more good years that you're here with us.
Thank you. Thank you. You realize that people tell me, you don't know how much we are praying that you stand on your feet because we're missing you. And then I heard that recently some station has started showing taxi driver.
Oh, I see.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They've started showing taxi driver again. And I say, well, it's a way of telling people that the man is around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I'm happy. And I'm grateful to the Father Almighty that He's put it in the hearts of people. Because I pray. And that lends meaning to what the scripture says in Matthew. That you, if you want to tell your father something, get into your chamber and pray to your father in secret. And he who sees things in secret will reward you openly. So when you get into your chamber and you pray, your father hears it. And he touches somebody's heart. And then you'll be at your home. And then you receive a call like I received from you. And then, hey, presto. At least I have rice. At least for the next few months, I won't buy rice. And then my children, incidentally too, all my children, their mothers are Ashantis. I'm from La. Their mothers are Ashantis. So for them and one more dear, I tell you.
All right, sir.
So I'm grateful to you. As I've told you, young people, please. It gladdens I'm always happy when I see young people with trying to do something very meaningful with their lives. All right? But then I'll tell you something. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Acknowledge who? The Father Almighty. In all your ways. In all your ways, not some of your ways. If you see a woman and you feel like chasing her, tell the Father. Father Almighty, as for this girl, when I see her, Nama, Nani, who Nani, catch her, no.
Thank you so much, sir.
So I'm happy. I really am grateful. I'm refreshed this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
If you know you want to vibe with your favorite star, don't go nowhere. Hey, yo, Miss G, let's go. Let's go.